I want to cook healthy meals, do a triathlon, have a successful corporate career. I want to write more. I want to be known in the AI space. I want to help people with careers and money. I want to run a successful business, be better at gardening. I want to do handstands, find a way to help artists and artisans in the textile industry. I want to watch Netflix. I want to be present in all social occasions. I want to spend quality time with my family. I want to have enough time to read a book and chill. I want to learn Ayurveda and psychology. I still want to have 8 hours of sleep a day. I want to do everything. And if a part of you got exhausted just listening to that list, I'm sorry, but that's who I am. It's not a joke. I am this person with multiple passions. They call it the multi-passionate person, I guess, these days. But there's something about the Renaissance man or the polymath that's extremely attractive to me. And I feel that I get really bored, really tied down when I'm put in a box and asked to specialize in one thing and one thing alone. In fact, my specialism is probably being the jack of many trades. And yet, since childhood, we are told that jack of all trades, master of none. But why? In my life, I think I have seen that jack of all trades and master of some can actually be quite a healthy balance. The things that you master will make you money. The other things will nourish you, will help you learn more, will help inculcate that habit of learning in you, more important than ever before in this day and age of change and adaptability. Truth is that even though that list seems extremely overwhelming, it is only a part of all of the things that I want to do in life. And in fact, some of those things, most of those things on that list, I have done in one form or another in the last few years. I know it's a lot, and yet it's been deeply satisfying and nourishing for my mind, for my soul. And one of the things that drives me to become this multi-passionate person is my curiosity, my hunger for learning. You see, I love learning. When I don't learn, I get bored. And when I get bored, I start asking those existential questions about life. Why am I here? I start becoming this nihilist character who, frankly, I would rather not be, because that's the land of depression for me. So, to keep my mental state happy, my mental health sound, I have to be this person, and I am not going to be apologetic about it, because social media will push me always to pick one interest, one hobby, and get good at it, because that's what algorithms reward you. You see, I work in the AI space, so I know that the best way these models work is by dividing. This is deeply erosive to our mental health, our skills, our abilities, and to society in itself. But that's a whole different topic. But in this episode, if you are anything like me, I would love to share a few tips on how you can incorporate multiple passions in your life without feeling guilty about not pursuing them at their best. The first thing you do is list down everything. That list of 10 or 15 that I read out is only a tiny fraction of that actual list that I have. My actual list probably runs into hundreds of things. List all of yours down. Dream. There's no constraint here. You can do everything. If you could do everything, what would you do? Write that list down. Keep adding to that list as you think of new things. And then rank order the list in terms of what feels urgent right now. I know a lot of us want to do a lot of things right now, but actually not everything is as important as other things. Ask yourself, ask your heart, ask your mind, what is it that I want to do right now? For me, one of the things that has been there for a long time has been, I want to run and grow a successful business. It's not been about, oh, I want to run a successful business consulting, or it's not been that I want to run and grow a successful business in the hair industry or in the textile industry. It's been a business. doesn't matter what it is about. And then there are these other passions of mine, like money and careers, like AI, like fabrics and textile. The business can be a vehicle to get all of those passions off the ground. So the next step is chunk up some of those items that you have on the list and figure out if they work together. Cooking a healthy meal and having quality family time might be one thing that you can chunk up. Maybe taking a painting class and spending more time with your children is one activity, and you do a class together. Get creative and chunk out things. The next thing you do is, against those chunks, put a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, half-yearly, yearly. Some of those things, like cooking a meal, you might want to do every day or once in a few days. But there are some things like doing the review of your finances. Maybe you want to do every quarter or every few months. And there might be things, for example, doing a triathlon or a swimathon every year, but you do need to practice for it weekly. Once you have a frame of reference of what are the things that you want to do and how often you need to do those things, get your diary out, plan for a couple of months or a quarter at max, and allocate most of the time to the thing that probably makes you the most money, because for most of us, we still are not financially free. We still need to earn money. So that's probably where most of our time will go. And then you'll probably need to block out your time for sleeping, because without sleep, none of this works. Being creative requires you to sleep or have your mind shut off for some time. For you, it might not be sleep. For you, it might be 4 hours of meditation. I know a few people who are like that. Absolutely okay if that's who you are, but start putting chunks in your diary as per your rank ordered chunks. So if after your day job, the next thing that feels most urgent to you is working on a business, put in a couple of hours a day to work on that business. If it feels like you need to cook a meal every couple of days, put that in the diary. If that means that you need to go for a 30-minute run every morning, put that in the diary. And from that point forward, live by your diary. This does not mean that I'm tying you down to a previous version of you. Review your diary every couple of months. If something feels out of place, reframe, replace. If you feel like you have gotten good enough at painting and you don't want to continue doing it for longer, drop it off. Pick something up from that list that you wanted to achieve. Mastery in anything takes time. And you will be a master at only a few things, not one thing, because I think you can be in your lifetime a master of a few different things. For me, I have definitely achieved a mastery in economics because I went to college and university for that. I've definitely mastered data. I've definitely mastered business. I've definitely mastered a few other things like cooking, but that does not mean that everything that I pick up I will need to master. Not everyone needs to become a Pablo Picasso or a Leonardo da Vinci. It's okay. What is important is that you become a master of learning. That is what is the most important skill, and that could be your legacy. So while I think that being a master of a few things is important and in fact useful, I also think that you don't want to be a master of a lot of things. So give yourself the permission to drop off things that don't feel aligned anymore. When we go onto Instagram or YouTube, it feels like everyone around us is on a holiday or traveling or a master of painting and business and music and dancing and whatnot. We are sat here in our sad lives, struggling to barely even be alive. That's what social media makes it feel, because people put on their highlights onto the social media and multiple people put on their best things onto social media. Yet, while consuming social media content, we are generally by ourselves, we are lonely, and we are looking at everyone else who are also looking at everyone else, and it feels to us that there's us and then there's them who are skilled at everything, are having a fun life, are doing all these cool things. It's almost like, when you were a child and you felt like your birthday just comes once, but everyone else has their birthdays all the time. And every child feels that because every child has one birthday. But because there are so many children around a child, they feel like there's a birthday every day. On that note, I actually have 3 kids' birthday parties to attend this weekend. So I'll leave it here. And if this was useful, please drop a comment below so that I know that there are other people like me. I'm not the weirdo. And it gives me permission to talk about other things like this on this channel, even though YouTube would frankly have me talk only about money. But then multi-passionate people make more money. I don't know if that's true, but I do know that multi-passionate people are more interesting people. And I do also want to reiterate that you don't want to be multi-passionate by being financially irresponsible. In fact, this is my last sermon to you before I go. I think being financially responsible has actually helped me be multi-passionate because money allows me to have the luxury of signing up for rowing, learning martial arts or music. Money allows you to do a lot of these things. Money allows you to be multi-passionate. So please be financially responsible and do that thing that makes you the most money, because yeah, money is not important, but till a certain point it is. You have to still have enough to cover yourself and your passions, because very likely your passions will require some money and investment. And one of the easiest ways to make more money is by increasing your salary. And if you are interested in increasing your salary, I'll leave a salary negotiation script link below. Go check it out. And if you enjoyed this, you might enjoy something like this or this. And if you really enjoyed this, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. It motivates me. So yeah, that would be really encouraging, helpful, and satisfying. So thank you, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.